Vishnupad Astotara Satoshishima Shila Gorgovinda Goswami Maharaj. Again, I offer my most respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my sannyas and Shiksha Guru Om Vishnupad Astotara Satoshishima Shila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. I offer my most respectful obeisances on those who are my Param Guru days, Nitya Lila Vishnu Vishnupad Astotara Satoshishima Shila Bhaktivedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada Nitya Lila Vishnu Vishnupad Astotara Satoshishima Shila Bhakti Pragyan Kesha Goswami Maharaj. Offer my most respectful obeisances unto all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas. So, I'll speak for about half hour or so, and then Madhav Maharaj will come, and then he'll speak. He told me that he will be speaking something leading into Vraj Lila Katha, something like that. But he'll make a platform. So, I was thinking I would speak. Do you want me to speak on Bhagavad Gita or Ramananda samvad? Ramananda samvad. We know that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that he is Krishna himself, and Krishna, after performing his pastimes in this world and going back to Golok Vrindavan, where he's simultaneously there all the time anyway, but Krishna was thinking that he came to fulfill his own purpose. He had his internal reasons for coming. That he wanted to understand what is the love of Srimati Radharani. Shiradaya Panaya Mahima Kirishovana Eva Swadyo Yena Bhuta Kirishova Madhya Sokyam Chashat Man Anubhavat Kirishoveti Lobad Taglabaya Samajani Sati Gaba Sindhu Harindu Shri Radhaya Panaya Mahima Kirishovana Eva. He wants to understand what is the Mahima, the glories of the love of Srimati Radharani. That in their relationship, that Krishna, though he is Rasik Shekhar, he is the connoisseur of Ras. He's a connoisseur of pure love, praying. But when it comes to Radharani, that the love of Radharani by far surpasses that of Krishna. That Radharani, she goes into such a state in her bhav, in her moods, that just seeing inanimate objects, she sees Krishna. She sees a cloud, which is like the complexion of Krishna, and she starts to chastise the cloud. Krishna, where have you been? She's with her Sakis, and she's telling her Sakis, I don't want to see anything which is black, anything which is reminding me of Sham. Sometimes she sees a tamal tree, and she embraces the tamal tree. So, Krishna, he's seeing that in separation from me, Radharani, she reaches such a high state of love, praying. You have Rudha Bhav, Adiruddha, Modan, Mohan, and Madan. Very, very high state. Krishna, he knows about it, he has knowledge of it, but he has not realized it. He has Gyan, but not Vigyan of the love of Radharani. So he wants to understand, what is that love? Jai Maharaj. So I will speak Roy Ramananda samvad. And what time Are we speaking till what time will I speak?
How long you spoke so far?
5 minutes, 2 minutes?
When I did pranam, you are so deep, Mahababa. I did pranam to you, then did pranam, you don't learn.
So, he wants to understand what is the glories, the mahima of this love of Srimati Radharani that he knows about, but he has not experienced in his own heart. Though he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who knows everything. But this, he only knows theoretically, not practically. Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kudishovanya Sokyam Chashat Man Anubhavat. And Srimati Radharani, the nature of her love is that she wants absolutely nothing for herself. That prema is selfless. But when you look from a neutral position of the prema of different devotees, then our acharyas, Srila Rupa Goswami, have analyzed that this spotless prema, totally spotless prema of Srimati Radharani, though she wants nothing, wants no happiness, but in giving pleasure to Krishna in such a super excellent, unprecedented way, that an unprecedented happiness floods her. And when Krishna is seeing that happiness that Radharani is experiencing involuntarily, he's thinking, what is the nature of this happiness in our relationship? And third, that what is it in me that evokes such happiness, such moods? What sweetness? Krishna has the sweetness of his form, Rup Madhuri, the sweetness of his flute, the sweetness of his pastimes, and Rup Madhuri, Lila Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, and Prem or qualities, Gun Madhuri. So, most of you, you've heard in great detail from Srila Gurudev about these topics. Krishna, wanting to understand, then he steals, begs, borrows, or steals that prem from Srimati Radhika. And that prem, that bhav, Madanakya Mahabhav, the complexion of that prem is molten gold. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. So, stealing that prem, then he manifests very beautiful golden complexion. So he's Krishna, but now he manifests golden complexion as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's appeared in Navadvip 500 odd years ago, and performed his pastimes first as Nimai Pandit, a logician. Then after he went to Katwa, and he met with, and he took initiation from Ishwara Puripad. And when he came back from Katwa to Navadvip, he was transformed. That Nimai, he's Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But he shows, by his own example, the necessity of taking initiation from Guru, and what is the effect when the disciple is ready for initiation and when the Guru is qualified. Nimai Pandit, when he went to accept initiation from Keshav Bharati, from Ishwara Puri, he was begging him that I am drowning in this ocean of material existence, that I have no hope. Please, you give me shelter. And Ishwara Puripati said, Nimai, I know who you are. I know you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But if you want to use me in this way in your pastimes, so be it. And then he initiated him. receive Brahmanda Brahmite Kon Bhagavanji Guru Krishna Prasadibai Bhakti Lata Beach. Krishna, Nimai is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not that he needs any Bhakti Lata Beach. But the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are instructive from beginning to end. My Diksha Guru Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj, he would say that Krishna, he speaks, gives teachings in Bhagavad Gita. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he practically shows how to act as a devotee. Krishna tells how to act, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he comes as a devotee, and practically his life is an example for us, how we should follow. So he completely surrenders himself to Guru, that please be merciful to me. And receiving initiation, he underwent such a transformation. He went to his Guru, he said that, what is this mantra that you've given me? That I'm laughing, crying, falling on the ground? I don't know what it is. What kind of magic have you given? Then Guru, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. This is the perfection. That receiving that mantra from Guru, then when going into the heart of the disciple, that disciple who is mature, then the spiritual world opens up for that person. Diksha Kale Bhakta Kore Atma Samapan. Se Kale Krishna Tori Kore Atma Sam. That at the time of Diksha, Diksha Kale Bhakta Kore, that devotee who offers himself. Yesterday we're talking about offering oneself. Atma Samapan. But for most of us conditioned souls, practically all of us conditioned souls, our offering ourselves, our Atma Samapan, it will be conditional, it will be partial, and incomplete. It will not be full. That's why the process, it takes a period of time depending on how we come to that point of complete surrender. But one who is practiced spiritual life, many, many lives, and they're coming in this life, and they're already mature, but it's not manifest. Then when they receive Diksha from Guru, because of their complete surrender, practical complete surrender from previous lives, then everything opens immediately. But for us, it may take years, it may take lives. Diksha Kale Bhakta Kore. So Diksha is a process. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested the pastime of a mature disciple coming in contact with Guru, and immediately everything was there. Krishna was, Shyam Sundar was appearing to him, and he was running to go and take the lotus feet of Shyam, but Shyam disappeared. He was crying, crying, crying. He went back to Navadvip, and when all the Navadvipasis came, oh, Nimai has come. Just like when Krishna, he left Vrindavan. Then all the Brijbasis, they were desolate. Everything was gray. Everything was in despair. In the same way, the Navadvipasis, they had so much love and affection for their Nimai. And when he returned, then life came back. But Nimai was now different. He was very somber. He was very introvert. And then he went with, he had so much on his mind. Dhanavad Pranam Maharaj.
Dhanavad, sorry I'm late. Do a little
He came back, and he was carrying something very heavy with him. So he took some devotees and he told them that I have something that I want to reveal. He was in his house and there were Vaishnavas. Previously he was Nimai Pandit, but now he gathered around him Vaishnavas, and then he told them, he said that only you can help me. And then he started to explain his going to Katwa, and he remembered that he had gone to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, and remembering that, he just started to cry and cry, and so much bhav, so much moods were coming, and the devotees were also crying. Then he started to say that I got darshan of Krishna, but when I went to touch him, he disappeared. And only devotees can help me to achieve Krishna. Toma Hridaya Sada Govinda Visham, Govinda Kohenamo, Vaishnava. That you have Krishna. He's your property. Even though you're looking very, very simple, not necessarily big pandit, but you have Krishna. Please help me. And then he started crying and crying and crying. And his mood now became so intense. It's explained that he fainted, and all the devotees, they were enveloped in that mood of praying, and all the devotees fainted. Actually, in Chaitanya Bhagavad, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur explains that he went to embrace a pillar, and the pillar crumbled. Such was the state of his ecstasy. And when he came to consciousness, devotees came to consciousness, he says, "Where's Gadai? Where's Gadai?" Gadai was in another room. And who's Gadai? Srimati Radhika. And what does Nimai come to do? He's come to taste the love of Srimati Radhika. And Gadai was crying and crying and crying. He said, "Oh Gadai, please help me. That you have been Vaishnava all your life." He was playing the role of Nimai Pandit. "I've wasted my time with so much logic this." He said, "Please help me, please help me." And now he's starting his pastimes in Navadvip as Bhavuk Nimai. So Nimai, he spends some years in Navadvip. He's married to Vishnupriya, but some incidents which have been arranged by Yogamaya to fulfill his inner desire, they happen, and he decides to take sannyas. He goes to Katwa. Oh, before I was saying Katwa, it was Gaya where he took initiation, and Katwa where he took sannyas, sorry. He goes to Katwa, and there he takes sannyas from Sri Keshava Bharati. After taking sannyas, he decides that involuntarily, his mind is, "I must go to Vrindavan." But Lord Nityananda tricks him, and he ends up at the place of Advaitacharya in Shantipur. And there all the Navadvipasis, they come again. That, "Oh, our Nimai, he has taken sannyas." And all of them leave Navadvip. They get on boats to cross the river to go to Shantipur. And the boats are completely full. Said that pregnant ladies, they were just bumping people off the boats and going on. And those that couldn't get on, they uprooted banana trees and put the banana trees, and then they started to swim across because they had to see their Nimai. Such is the love of the Navadvipasis. And Krishna, he's come to perform these pastimes to invite all of us, come to Navadvip, that this is your home. But come with transcendental body in Nimai's pastimes. As Krishna is performing his pastimes in different universes in cyclic order, in the same way Nimai is performing his pastimes. Why? To give us chance to come and enter into those pastimes. Now we're just training to enter into the Sankirtan movement of Nimai of Navadvip. So they left Navadvip and they went to Shantipur. And Nimai, now he was shaved, beautiful saffron cloth, and they saw that Nimai was now Sri Krishna Chaitanya. And they ran towards Nimai, and they would now, instead of greeting him in different ways according to their levels of those who were junior, those who were equal, those who were senior, they were all taking the dust of his lotus feet, because now he's Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, sannyas. And they knew that Nimai, our Nimai, he's going to save the whole world. And how would he save the whole world? By Harinam Sankirtan. And they had a kirtan explains to Chaitanya, I think Chaitanya Bhatt, Kirtan was so moving. The devotees were crying and crying and crying and taking the dust from his lotus feet. Nimai, after a very long kirtan, he said, you should all know that you're all my eternal associates. And no matter where I am, we can never be separated, even a sesame seed away. I'm always there with you. And then at that time, Mother Sachi was there. And Mother Sachi, she gave requests that instead of going to Vrindavan, that you go and stay in Jagannath Puri, because they're like two rooms of the same house, very close, Navadvip and Puri, in terms of devotees traveling back and forth, and I won't feel the pangs of separation so intensely. So please don't go to Vrindavan, just go to Puri. Nimai said, okay. Then he went to Jagannath Puri. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was in Puri. He gave excuse that he would go to South India to look for his brother Vishvarup. And leaving Jagannath Puri, that time it's explained that he traveled through the forest and he was chanting Krishna, 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 hey bolo, Krishna, 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 Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahi Mam. Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahi Mam. He was chanting Krishna Keshava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava Rakshamam. But though he was chanting the name of Ram, he was not thinking of Lord Ramachandra. He was thinking of Radha Raman. Rama Raghava Rakshamam. That, oh, Ram, oh, Radha Raman. But he's Krishna, but he's chanting the name of Krishna because he's absorbed in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So absorbed in the mood of Radharani, he's calling, oh Krishna, Rakshamam. Rakshamam, protect me? Protect me. That without your association, surely I'll die. In this mood, he is traveling. He goes through Jharkhand forest, and that prem, which is emanating from his body, is enveloping the whole forest and all the inhabitants of the forest. So whatever very, very thick influence of the modes of nature that are affecting them is now washed away by his prem, and they're manifesting prem. And the tigers now, they're dancing. The lions, the elephants, they're dancing. And they're not showing any enmity towards each other because they've become enveloped in the prem of Srimati Radhika manifesting from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this mood, he travels and then he comes to Godavari. He goes different places, but he comes to, ultimately, he comes to River Godavari. And there, seeing the river Godavari, he's seen, in his eye, he's seen Yamuna. And seeing the forest around Godavari, he's seeing Vrindavan. And then he goes and takes bath in what to him is Yamuna, but it's Godavari. And then, after taking bath, he goes to the other side and changing, sitting down in a sultry place he's chanting Harinam and just absorbed. That Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as I said, he is coming to give us instruction on how to do that sadhana by which we can go back home, back to Godhead, by which we can go to Goloka Vrindavan. So he's coming and he, practically speaking, he's showing how to do it. That internally, he's absorbed. Seva sadaka rupena, siddha rupena, chatrahi. Internally, he's absorbed in that which he's coveting, the mood of Srimati Radhika. And externally, he's chanting and he's performing his activities as a sannyasi and he's delivering the conditioned souls. But because he's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's not just delivering the humans who have got certain adhikar, but the animals, everybody. Shum. He's throwing a big net and he's catching all different species of lives. And immediately he's bringing them. So he's sitting and he's chanting and absorbed. And then from a distance comes a palanquin, accompanied by so many brahmanas and multitude of people who are singing hymns, chanting hymns, mantras. And on top of the palanquin, there's a personality who's eloquently dressed. As the palanquin, it comes closer, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is absorbed in Nam, and personality, he comes down from the palanquin and he sees the sannyasi who is so effulgent. He's so effulgent. But though the sun went very, very hot and effulgent, but his effulgent is like soothing and nourishing. He pays his obeisances. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu allows the sannyasi to come close to him, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows who is this person. But he asks, "Are you Roy Ramananda?" And Roy Ramananda says, "Yes, I am that lowly Shudra." And then they embrace, and in the embrace, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu starts to cry, he starts to shiver, Roy Ramananda the same, and they cannot contain themselves, and they both faint. When they come back to consciousness, then they see that all these brahmanas that were there, they're just looking at them, and they're like, what's going on? They're thinking that, why is this sannyasi? Because they're caste brahmanas, they're very caste conscious, they're not thinking who has prem, who doesn't have prem. They're thinking who's Shudra, who's Vaishya, who's Chatra, who's Brahman. And say that he's a Brahman. And Roy Ramananda is a Shudra. He was a Kayasta, but he's a Shudra. How is he embracing a Shudra? And then there are some also thinking, Roy Ramananda is a great Pandit. He's very self-composed. He may be in a royal office. He may dress very elegantly, but he's a very, very sober, controlled person. But how is it that he's completely lost it in front of all of us? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Roy Ramananda, they're in their own world. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's Krishna, but he's come with the mood of Srimati Radhika. And Roy Ramananda is Vishaka, Vishaka Saki. So now they're meeting again. Even though this meeting and separation is just part of their lila, but they're meeting after some time, and they become completely enveloped in that love. But because of the external situation, that there's so many people who are not devotees, they're following more Karmakanda section of the Vedas, and they're disturbed. Their minds can't really accommodate what's going on. So then they control themselves. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said that I've come here because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he has told me about you. Roy Ramananda said that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he's so kind to me that because of him, I'm receiving your association, your darshan, your audience. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, but I can see that you are great Mahabhagavat. That what is the sign? Just see how these brahmanas who are not devotees, but just by your association, now they're also crying. And Harinam is coming from their mouth. Roy Ramananda said, no, that you're the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And because of your association, then you're transforming all these people. So they were discussing like this. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that I want to spend some little time and get your association. That Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told me about you. And now meeting you, I can understand what is your exalted position. Roy Ramananda said, just you come and spend just little time. No, you have to spend some good substantial time. Because both they're showing the importance of sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha, Sava Shastra Koi, Lava Mata Sadhu Sangha, Sava Siddhi Hoy. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's showing us this verse. Because what is his Sava Siddhi Hoy? What's his perfection? He wants to absorb himself in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And how will he do? By the Sadhu Sangha of Roy Ramananda. And by that, just by 1 second of meeting, already he's enveloped in so much moods. But because of the audience that's around them, and they cannot discuss to their heart's content, then they decide that they will meet later in the evening. During that time, one Brahmin, Vaishnav Brahmin, came and invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to go to his place for his meals. Then later in the evening, Roy Ramananda, he appeared, he came, and this time he didn't come with royal dress or big entourage, but he came very, very simply dressed.
And alone.
And alone, by himself. Not even one
servant.
Not
One servant.
One servant.
Yeah.
Like Srila Govinda Maharaj. So he came. And then meeting with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said that I would like to know what is the goal of life? What is the sadhya? And if you can tell me what is the means, or what is the means to achieving, the goal of life? And when you explain, can you explain, recite, using scriptural reference? So then, we should understand also, very important, and Srila Gurudev would always make this point, that we should keep our mind fixed on the goal. Always keep your mind fixed. What is the goal of my life? Gurudev has come and he's given us this very precious sadhya, this very precious jewel. What's that jewel? An understanding of what is the purpose of our existence. Why are we in this material world? To achieve Krishna Prema. But not only Krishna Prema, but he said more specifically, by his mercy, to achieve the goal of being a maidservant of Srimati Radharani. We may go and do so many things and forget, but what he has given is always there, isn't it? It's always there. It's always there. No matter how, like the Ganga Matas are never off the path, they're like, shh. But me, I'm always going here. I have, okay, let me do this, let me do that. But no matter what I do, what Gurudev is given, it's always there, And I just said, Hare Krishna, comes out. Very easily, just like that. Very precious. What is the goal? Kriti Sadhya, Bhavet Sadhya, Bhava Sadhya. Bhava Sadhana. This Bhav, which Bhav? The mood of the maidservants of Srimati Radharani. It's come to give. And he's planted that within our hearts. Diksha Kale Bhakta Kore. He's done his part. He's given that Divya Gyanam. Which Divya Gyanam? That very high Divya Gyanam. But now it's our part. Bhakta Kore Atma Samapan. To do that Samapan. And this is what we're doing. Step by step by step by step by step. So, Roy Ramananda, he starts. And he starts from here. Vanasham Taravata Purushena Parapuman. Vishnu Aradite Pantat Nat Tosha Karda Karanam. That to perform one's duty in Vanashram. and pleasing Vishnu in this way, that this is the sadhana.
Krishna is pleased by one who performs his varnashram dharmas perfectly.
Krishna is pleased that this is the sadhana to achieve the goal. So next time I speak, then we'll discuss what is this varnashram, what is the sadhana, and what is the goal of those who perform varnashram, and then we'll... How many times we get to speak?
How many times do you want to speak?
Huh?
You have to do
I want to
puja
speak.
to me, because I get to make the schedule.
I want to speak.
So
You
if you
make the
please
schedule?
me, then all of your desires.
So anyway, we will discuss step by step as time allows. Vanchakalpa Tarubhishta Kripa Sindhi.